إنك أنت التواب الرحيم. سبحانك لا نحصي ثناء عليك أنت كما أثنيت على نفسك، أنت المقدم وأنت المؤخر وأنت على كل شيء قدير. اللهم اجعل جمعنا هذا جمعا مرحوما، واجعل التفرق بعده تفرقا معصوما، ولا تدع فينا شقيا ولا محروما. اللهم آمين. In the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the most compassionate, the most merciful, all praise and thanks are due to Him, and peace and blessings be upon His beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam. He who is guided by the will of Allah, no one can misguide him, and he who is misguided, no one can guide him except Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I do bear witness that there is no God but Allah, and Muhammad is His messenger. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. We are still, alhamdulillah, with the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the context of the very, very special meeting between the new delegation, or the first delegation of Muslims who immigrated to Abyssinia, Al-Habasha at that time, and Najashi. Now I will reread, just to stay on the track, just part of the last thing we did. Now we are still in the scene. I'm trying to highlight part of the scene because it's a long discussion. So we, the people of Mecca, they sent Amr Bin Akas and one of the Meccans to convince Najashi by first of all to bribe everyone around Najashi, and they took with them a very precious high quality leather gifts, and they did the job, and they tried to push him not to accept those to stay in his country. Now in this context, now the narration basically, as I told you, was by Salama. At that time, we know Salama is one of the mothers of the believers, Ummahat al-Mu'mineen. When she was narrating that, still she was not the wife of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam. And as you know, we have the first group who migrated, the second group, we are still in that discussion. So قالت ثم أرسل إلى أصحاب رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم فدعاهم فلما جاءهم رسوله اجتمعوا ثم قال بعضهم لبعض ما تقولون للرجل إذا جئتموه. I'm just trying to connect you with part of last time. When they were called for the first time, they were called for this, okay, they were living peacefully but without any direct contact with the king. Because, I mean, can you imagine, like the example that I did? We have many immigrants who come to Canada. Is it something normal? Any immigrants come immediately, he goes and meets, for example, Justin Trudeau? No. Okay, he knows who is Justin Trudeau. He's the prime minister and he's elected. He has the power, yes, definitely. But it's not a normal thing that any immigrants come immediately, he goes to just sits with him and drinks coffee and tea. No, that's not the case. So it was not something easy for them when they were called by the king. So, okay, what do you think? Why he's calling us? Because all questions will be coming. So it's not an easy interview because you have no idea about what will happen. قالوا, so they were asking themselves, okay, what will say? قالوا نقول والله ما علمنا وما أمرنا به نبينا صلى الله عليه وسلم كائن ما كان. Whatever they ask us, we'll tell what Prophet Muhammad صلى الله عليه وسلم has taught us. Say the truth. قال فلما جاءوه وقد دعا النجاشي أساقفته فنشروا مصاحفهم. So when they were called, all the bishops and archbishops or the priests, they were surrounding Najashi. To give you an idea that the people who used to have the prestige and the power and the authority, they were the people of the church, religious people. Are you with me? So, because basically فدعا أساقفته. قال فنشروا مصاحفهم أي أناجيلهم. They were opening their holy books, their Bibles at that time. سألهم ما هذا الدين الذي فارقتم فيه قومكم ولم تدخلوا في ديني ولا في دين أحد من الأمم. What kind of religion is this that because of it you forsake and you left the religion of your people and you did not come to my religion? So, okay, what else? Paganism. He knows that they are not Jews because he himself is a continuation for Judaism. He himself is a Christian and Arabs are paganist. Okay, what else? What kind of religion is this that you decided to follow? قالت فكان الذي كلمه جعفر. Ja'far said, أيها الملك كنا قوما أهل جاهلية. We were people of ignorance. نعبد الأصنام. We used to worship idols. ونأكل الميتة. And to eat the dead bodies. ونأتي الفواحش. We used to do all, فواحش, as I told you, all kind of immoralities, indecencies, shameful sins, فواحش. And we highlighted last time that this terminology, they were known among all of them. So it was not something in you. So when they say fawahish, he knows what fawahish is and they know what is it, by the way. And by the way, those people, some of them, they have been Muslims just few months ago or few years ago. Yet all of them, they used to realize what immoralities are. So it was not a matter of ignorance or knowledge. It's a matter of submission for who, depending on what. Because otherwise, whenever he says a single word, he should be stopped by saying, excuse me, what do you mean by fawahish? Excuse me, I'm not recognizing what you are talking about. Because once he's talking and he's agreeing or disagreeing, which means there is a common language, common understanding, common terminology, common values. And that's why, by the way, I told you this could be one of the most important historical records about Christianity itself for Christians if they would love to study it. Because they don't have this knowledge, by the way. We have it. They don't. And by the way, do you know that Christians, they don't have any kind of knowledge about the details of what happened with Maryam alayhi salam when she was confronted by her people, when she came with, after giving birth of Jesus Christ. وجاءت قومها تحمله قال يا مريم أن يا أخت هارون ما كان أبوك امرأ سوء وما كانت أمك بغية فأشارت إليه قالوا كيف نكلم من كان في المهد صبية قال إني عبد الله آتاني الكتاب. All of these details, they don't have it. We have it. And by the way, do you know that the chapter of Maryam is one of the reasons for many priests that they converted to Islam? Do you know that? It's amazing when you study. Amazing. If you do some kind of search through Google, the engine of Google, and say, for example, just one of the keywords, Christian priests, reasons of their conversion, for example, okay? Go and check, you will find one of them, they were astonished with the details and the honesty and the amazing, powerful information about the Virgin Mary, radiyallahu anha, alayha salam. Amazing. Anyway, so I'm continuing what Ja'far was telling Najashi. He said, we used to be people of Jahiliyyah doing such and such, killing, eating, doing such and such. قال وَنَقْطَعُ الْأَرْحَامِ. We used to disconnect all kind of bonds and ties with our relatives and kins, all types of these. We don't care about these things. قال وَنُسِيءُ الْجُوَارِ. We used to do a horrible, a treatment with the neighborhood. يأكل القوي من الضعيف. The power used to, attack the weak. فكنا على ذلك حتى بعث الله إلينا رسولا منا نعرف نسبه وصدقه وأمانته وعفته. We used to be in this situation, this status, till Allah sent to us a prophet whom we knew. لاحظ, we know his nasab, صدق, أمانة, عفة. Look how he described Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. We know his lineage, but we know what is the source, where did he come from? The reputation, the credibility. صدقه. Look, are you with me? صدقه. أمانته, trustworthy. عفته, the chastity and the purity. No one will say, till Allah sent to us the richest person among us. No one will use it. Because we know what is the important thing. We know. What was the thing that destroyed Bill Clinton in his presidency? Anyone who's above 50 should remember this. The scandal of Monica Lewinsky. What was the scandal regarding about? By the way, the action itself? No. He used to do, some horrible sexual things with his secretary. No one cares because there's sexual freedom. What was the problem? He lied. He lied. He said something, then they discovered he was lying. He said, I did not such and such, then they discovered he did. No one was interfering in his sexual privacy, by the way. No, who cares? Who cares? You know that. No one cares about this. This sexual freedom is for some people is their real God. So the idea was not sexual or chastity. No. It was what? Lying. He was finished because he lied. With all kind of whatever you think about the changing of humanity, still, liar, lost your credibility. Subhanallah. They will tolerate you if you take drugs, privacy. Sexual life, privacy. Homosexuality, privacy. Drinking alcohol, privacy. Lying, we are finished. Still Allah is enforcing us to have something in common to realize what morality and values are. When we lose even this, وقتها, read Al-Fatiha on your soul and be prepared to be buried inshallah in this life before we go to the hereafter. Wallahi. Anyway, I'm trying just connect this when he said قال كنا نعرف نسبه صدقه وأمانته وعفافه فدعانا إلى الله أن نوحده ونعبده ونخلع ما كنا نعبد نحن وآباؤنا. He called us to worship Allah alone and to leave everything we used to worship, other from Allah. Now pause. When we say worship, you understand what do we mean by worship now. We are not talking just standing before something and say no. We are talking about full what? Obedience and submission. Which means we will not be listening to the commandments of the tribe, of the people, or the group. Allah, if He said wrong, this will be wrong because He decides what right and wrong. It's not according to us, because humans, and by the way, one of the most and funniest things that our kids now, because of materialism, might be, and they are already brainwashed, is when we say, okay, excuse me, I'm not religious, please, I for the religion of humanity. I said, excuse me, by the way, part of humanity, Nazism and Hitler. German Nazis, they were from humans or not? Stalin, Lenin, and communism, who killed 100 millions, they were humans or not? طيب, Mao Zedong, Chinese communism, who killed with his party about 80 to 100 millions, were they humans or not? Mussolini in Italy, fascism, who killed tens of millions, they were humans or not? French, nice, cool people who are still colonizing 16 countries up to this day, while they were enslaving, killing, raping, taking, seizing, killing. They were and they are humans or not? Belgian people who used to colonize some African countries, when they were harvesting the rubber, if an African man did not harvest the level they decided to him, one of the slightest and smallest punishment is to chop the hands of his son while he's watching and to throw the hands in his face. Next time, tomorrow, you have to collect rubber more than what you have done today. And it is, go to Google and see the pictures. I'm challenging you. It's in museums. Wallahi. French colonialism, occupation, when they did their nuclear tests on Algerian deserts, hundreds and tens of prisoners they used to do, they did 40, to the best of my memory, 40 atomic bombs as tests in Algerian deserts. To see the influence on humans, they used to take Algerian prisoners and to tie them into, to cover them and to see the heat of the bomb, what will happen to their bodies. They used to evaporate in less than 1 second, not to be burned, to disappear in less than half a second. Because, the heat will be with thousands. طيب, my point. When someone says, I'm follow humanity, which humanity are you talking about? I proved to you tens of examples. They are all humans, by the way. So when you say, I'm following the religion of humanity, I say, hey, please don't play this game with me. What do you mean by religion of humanity? What do you mean? Religion of Mao Zedong killed 100 million. Lenin and Stalin, 100 million. Nazism, nice white Germans with blue eyes. They caused the Second World War, and they caused directly and indirectly the mass killing of about 62 millions. They were humans. Which humans you are following? So don't play this dirty game with me. I'm following humans. Humans? طب ما هذول كلهم humans. ولا شو ولا احنا سعادين يعني هم humans? Seriously, I'm just telling you not to be brainwashed because all the time humanity, human يا حبيب. Which humans? ما كل criminals they are humans. So it's a big lie. It's what? Big lie. Wallahi, in many cases we are brainwashed without even being aware that we are brainwashed. So my point, I'm just paying your attention about the common ground of humanity when understanding right and wrong. طيب, anyway, قال أمرنا, now he's talking about now the discussion between Ja'far ibn Abi Talib and Najashi. Now he's highlighting with what Prophet Muhammad has come. قال أمرنا بصدق الحديث. He commanded us to say the truth. أداء الأمانة. To, pay back the trust. When you have a trust, submit the trust. صلة الرحم. To have good relations with your relatives, your kins. البونز, حسن الجوار. To be nice with our neighbors and neighborhood. الكف عن المحارم والدماء. To stop our hands and our power against any kind of shedding blood or doing any haram, filthy, dirty things. نهانا عن الفواحش, immoralities and shameful sins. وقول الزور, fake testimonies, it's haram. قال وأكل مال اليتيم, and to seize and to take over the money of the orphans. قال وقذف المحصنة, and to say bad things about the reputation and the honor of the chastity and the purity of women. قال وأمرنا أن نعبد الله. Now all of these things, who can disagree with these things? And by the way, if you remember, Islam came to complete. Do you remember the hadith that I highlighted? I think here, صح? Here or in the tafsir, I forgot. The hadith Prophet Muhammad about the brick, the labina. Anyway, Prophet Muhammad ﷺ said in a hadith, very beautiful hadith, قال مثلي ومثل الأنبياء قبلي, the resembling, the likeness of me, myself, compared with previous prophets and messengers, is like someone who has built a very, very beautiful palace, fully decorated, very beautiful piece of art. قال فجعل الناس يطوفون بهذا القصر يعجبون بجماله. All the people, it's an example. So the people used to come to say, wow, when you see a piece of art now in our language, when someone who's highly specialist, ولله المثل الأعلى, as an architecture, when he does a piece of art, we say, wow, the color, the design, the piece, the stone, everything. ولله المثل الأعلى. قال فجعل الناس يطوفون بهذا القصر. They used to go around looking, admiring this piece of art of this palace. قال وترك موضع لبنة. This man who has built this great, he left the place of one brick out of this very beautiful palace. قال فجعل الناس يطوفون ويقولون لولا ما أجمل القصر لولا اللبنة. He said how beautiful, how amazing, how piece of art this building is, but it misses what? This brick. قال فأنا اللبنة أكمل الله بي. I am this brick. He did not say I am the palace, I am the brick. This is a very beautiful example. We did not come to demolish and to change. We are completing. But however, Allah has chosen us to be the last. That's why always we say, some people believe in the Old Testament and others believe in the New Testament. We believe in Last Testament. Yes, Old and New, last. No problem. You are the elder brother. خلاص, your role is finished. Middle brother, Jazakallah khair. I am the youngest now, and I am the final. This is the case, whether you like to or not. It's not my decision or your decision. Allah has already chosen you 3,400 years ago, 2,000 years ago. Allah decided to choose us in the recent final seal of the whole story of humanity. This is the case. It's a matter of faith. Anyway, قال أمرنا أن نعبد الله وحده ولا نشرك به شيئا. He commanded us to worship Allah alone and not to associate anything with Him. أمرنا بالصلاة والزكاة والصيام. Commanded us to do the prayers and the donations and the fasting. قالت فعدد عليه أمور الإسلام. He counted the basic things of Islam. فصدقناه وآمنا به واتبعناه على جاء. We believed in him. We really approved what he came with and we followed him. فعبدنا الله وحده, and we did not associate and we worshipped Allah. And we believed in the haram and halal, etc. قال فعدا علينا, this is the words of Ja'far now. فعدا علينا قومنا فعذبونا وفتنونا عن ديننا. They attacked us, they tortured us, and they were doing their best to keep us away from our religion. قال يردونا إلى عبادة الأوثان, to bring us back to worship the idols and to leave Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. وأن نستحل ما كنا نستحل من الخبائث, and to come back again and to legalize in our life the evil, filthy, dirty, bad things we used to do. قال فلما قهرونا, look now, look how clever Ja'far radiallahu anhu was. قال فلما قهرونا وظلمونا, when did they transgress and they really did a lot of injustice against us. وشقوا علينا, it was really very difficult for us, big hardship. حالوا بيننا وبين دينا, they were trying to disconnect us from our religion. خرجنا إلى بلدك, we came to your country. واخترناك على من سواك, we chose you apart from everyone else. Now he's saying the truth and he's playing media and politics as well. Which means, this is a diplomatic discussion now. We are in the royal court with the king, our enemies who owns Fox News, BBC of that time, طبعا. Okay? Alhamdulillah, now we don't have any enmity with Fox News. Fox News, they love Muslims, mashallah alayhum. I mean, the best news about Islam and Muslims, you find it in Fox News. Allahumma salli ala Sayyidina Muhammad. But at that time, Meccan's people, they used to have something similar, their power, their connections, okay? Like BBC, CNN, CBC, Fox News, all together against the simple oppressed people. They did not have this power. So now you had the opportunity to defend the haqq that you believe in. It's your faith, yourself, and your personal power in presenting your case. You need to be ready. That's why it's not anyone should be speaking. You need someone really who knows how to do it. It's a political, diplomatic, clever negotiations. Because if you could not convince, even with the truth, the one who is owning the power, you will be deported and you might be killed at any time. It's not a matter of just enjoying a session of debate. No, you will be killed in a few hours. So you need to defend yourself in the right way. Look how he did it. By the way, we can choose really to do courses in this. He came, we used such and such. He's addressing his fitrah now. We came to the good. You know what I'm talking about. They did such and such. After having this kind of disasters and hardship, we decided to come to you in specific because we know about whom you are. This is a very clever attitude. قال اخترناك على من, we chose you apart from everyone else. ورغبنا في جوارك, and we had the passion to be next to you in your country. ورجونا ألا نظلم عندك الملك, and we hope we will not face any injustice under your authority. We hope. You are provoking someone. Hey, we chose you. Prove you deserve this. قالت فقال له النجاشي هل معك مما جاء به عن الله من شيء? Do you have anything from what he received as a revelation? قالت فقرأ له جعفر رضي الله عنه النجاشي فأقرأه صدرا من كاف ها يا عين صاد. So some of the verses. In the narration, they did not tell us exactly how many verses he read. So I did some ijtihad and I brought 3, 4 or 5 ayahs just to connect you with the possibility of what did he read in front of النجاشي. From كاف ها يا عين صاد ذكر رحمة ربك عبده زكريا إذ نادى ربه نداء خفيا قال ربي إني وهن العظم مني واشتعل الرأس شيبا ولم أكن بدعائك رب شقيا وإني خفت الموالي من ورائي وكانت امرأتي عاقرة فهب لي من لدنك وليا يرثني ويرث من آل يعقوب واجعله ربي رضيا يا زكريا إنا نبشرك بغلام اسمه يحيى لم نجعل له من قبل سميا. This is part of what he read. Now I will connect you how Ja'far so clever he was and what he chose these ayat radiyallahu anhu. Now he said, this is a reminder of your Lord's mercy to his servant Zechariah, when he cried out to his Lord privately, saying, my Lord, surely my bones have become brittle and gray hair has spread across my head, but I've never been disappointed in my prayer to you, my Lord. And I'm concerned about the faith of my relatives after me, since my wife is barren. So grant me by your grace and hear, who will inherit prophethood from me and the family of Jacob, and make him, O Lord, pleasing to you. The angels announced, O Zechariah, indeed, we give you the good news of the birth of a son, whose name will be John, a name we have not given to anyone before. Now, after he recited these ayat, قال فبكى والله قالت فبكى والله النجاشي حتى أخضل لحيته. The king of Abyssinia started crying till his beard became wet out of his tears. You know, he lost his control emotionally. قال وبكى أساقفته حتى أخضلوا مصاحفهم حين سمعوا ما تلا عليهم. Even the priests, the bishops, archbishops, all of them, they cried because they were astonished, because they know what they are talking about. They know what they are talking about, you know, because when we speak about John, this is John the Baptist, one of the most important and greatest personalities in Christianity. We are not talking about strange, you know, element or identity. No, John the Baptist. According to our information, you know, Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, when he was in the journey of, you know, the journey of Isra al-Mi'raj, the ascension into heavens, قال ثم صعدت إلى السماء, I forgot the fourth or fifth, قال فوجدت ابني الخالة يحيى وعيسى. He said, I found the two cousins, maternal cousins, John and Jesus. Ibn Khalto. But now John, he was born a little bit before Jesus Christ. And they were raised, all of them, under, you know, the house of Al-Imran and Zechariah, which is the highly lineage of prophethood. John the Baptist he was given the prophethood before Isa alayhi salam. Then Isa alayhi salam received the prophethood. Now, according to us. Now, for Christians, they have another way of understanding this is completely John the Baptist, because they don't believe, طبعا, as you know, that Jesus Christ is a prophet. He's the Son of God and he's God's incarnate. This is completely another story. But now, he narrated this ayat to him. So all of them, they started what? Crying. And by the way, when we speak about John the Baptist, from his name, they took the concept of baptism. Baptism, اللي هو تعميد. Okay? تعميد. Now baptism, the vast majority of Christians, regardless of their churches and their denominations, they believe in baptism. Baptism with some kind of differences. For some Christians, without being Baptist, you are not Christian, even if you are 80 years old. For some of them, you must do it like Sunnah and Fard, you know, in our religion. However, generally, baptism used to be by John the Baptist originally in River Jordan. My country. Next to my country. Yes. John the Baptist, according to the historical, used to be, at that time, it used to be when someone wants to repent. You know, repentance for us, it's a matter of an attitude, intention, and heart, an act of heart. And sometimes we need to add to it outside and external element. Like, for example, now the core concept of prayer for us basically is The niyyah, the intention, and the ajr. But you can't pray without wudu. Wudu is a physical act. You can't pray, okay, if you went to the washroom and you went to the restroom, unless if you made the wudu after that. This is kind of physical things. They are connected with the spiritual just to organize it. So baptism, Allahu A'lam, it used something similar to this. They used to be baptized by putting all of your body in the river Jordan as a physical sign for the intention and the spiritual thing that you have been repentant and returned back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Because the people of Israel at that time, they used to have a lot of sins. John the Baptist, out of tens of prophets and messengers, he was sent like others, like Sulaiman alayhi salam, Solomon, King Solomon, like Dawood alayhi salam, David, like all of this, they were sent to bring the people of Israel to the straight path. The final one of them was Isa alayhi salam, who came with the glad tidings, وَمُبَشِّرًا بِرَسُولٍ مِّن بَعْدِهِ يَأْتِي اسْمُهُ Ahmad. He came just to finish, to close the file of the children of Israel and to ask them to follow the coming one, which is the what do you call it in the Greek language? The Parakletos, Al-Mahmud, Muhammadinim in Hebrew. It's amazing. Anyway, but I'm just giving you an idea how this story, the whole idea of Zachariah, Al-Imran, John the Baptist, very related and dear to the heart of, as if, Ja'far radiallahu anhu was so clever to find something to tell him how common, and I know what you believe in, I should be aware how close I am to you. So they cried. After they finished that, قال النجاشي, now the reaction of the Najashi was amazing. قال النجاشي إن هذا والله والذي جاء به موسى, he did not say عيسى, إن هذا والذي جاء به موسى لا يخرج من مشكاة واحدة انطلقا فوالله لا أسلمهم إليكم أبدا ولا أكاد. He said, by Allah, what you have said now and what Musa, he did not say Jesus, okay, came with, both of them, they come from one source. He said, by Allah, I will not submit you to anyone, and I will not anyone brainwash me or cheat me. Go and you are free in my country. قالت أم سلمة فلما خرجا من عنده قال عمرو بن العاص. When they left, Amr, he said, والله لأنبئنهم غدا عيبهم عندهم ثم أستأصل به خضراءهم. Arabs. Who from the Arabs understood this? قال لأنبئنهم غدا عيبهم ثم أستأصل به خضراءهم. Who understood this from the Arabs? Just raise up your hand. One? طب definitely non-Arabs will not understand it. If Arabs did not understand it, أستأصل he said, now this was the first round of the fight. So who won? Muslims. طبعا you need to know and to remember, Amr ibn al-As, his title is Dahiyatul Arab, one of the most clever people in Arab. He does not give up easily. Okay, they left. He respected the fact that khalas, they cried. Now it's very emotional. He can't interfere now. When someone is crying, logic does not work. Khalas, whatever. He just kept silent. When they left, he said, by Allah, tomorrow I will tell the Najashi about their weakness and defect points. قال وأستأصل به خضراءهم. Yes, sister.
I just want to know, why did he say Musa and not Isa?
طبعا, I did not read an explanation, but from my previous knowledge from other sources, wallahu a'lam, because he knew exactly and he read exactly about the prophecies of Musa about, yes, I told you, he was a alim about that. وَسَأَبْعَثُ فِيهِمْ مِنْهُمْ, I will send from their brethren someone like you. Do you remember? Someone like you. And Musa is like Muhammad. When they told him about Muhammad, immediately his mind, he's alim. He knows who was Musa. He was a fighter, statesman, got married, had children, attacked by his enemy, kicked out of his country. You see, so immediately the system works. They were told, who's Muhammad? Such 1, 2, 3, 4. Exactly, because he knows. That's why Allah praised the Christian priests with the very well-known verse. وَإِذَا سَمِعُوا ما أنزل ترى أعينهم تفيض من الدمع مما عرفوا من الحق. You will see those Christian priests start crying out of their certain knowledge about the truth. What truth? They were waiting for Muhammad. Ya Jama'ah, you need to know that. For them at that time, they were waiting. So anyone submitted himself to truth simply, when he witnessed the truth, he was so happy that what he was waiting since 500 years came to be true. It's exactly, do you know, by the way, do you know their feelings exactly will be like what? When you and me witness the Dajjal if we are still alive. Since we were born, we were reading an authentic hadith that Dajjal will be coming and Isa will come again. Imagine in the coming 10 years, all of us, we were still alive. Because we have authentic hadith sahih about the coming again of Isa alayhi salam and the Dajjal. When the news come that such and such, we know. Others might be deluded. Yes, it's their problem. They refused. They don't know. It's not my problem. Allah will be just with them. I'm talking about you and me whom we know. I know that Isa is coming. So when we be told that Isa alayhi salam came with something and we have the clear-cut proofs about this, I will not be no, I know, I'm waiting for that. I will start crying because I know that this is the fulfillment of the prophet, of the prophecy. Al-Mahdi, Al-Dajjal, all here we know about them. Alamat Sa'ah, the signs of the hour. As I told you, wallahi, if we do not have in Islam, in all Islam, except أن ترى الحفاة العراة العائلة رعاء الشاء يتطاولون في البنيان, just this hadith in Islam, it's more than enough to believe in Islam, to submit to Prophet Muhammad, and just to stay all of your life saying Alhamdulillah till you die. Prophet Muhammad 1400 years ago, when he was asked by Archangel Gabriel, when he came in a form or in a shape of a man and asked him about the signs of the hour, as a way of teaching for, the very, very well-known hadith. قال, he said, أخبرني عن الساعة, tell me about the hour, which is the end of the time. Because all previous people, through the Prophet ﷺ, they know that there is the end of the time. And they know about the hour. It's not an Islamic, it's not a Muhammadanism invention. It's a godly commandment and knowledge spread among humanity since thousands of years. Everyone knows. قال أخبرني عن الساعة, tell me about the hour. قال ما المسؤول عنها بأعلم من السائل. I don't know. قال أخبرني عن علاماتها. Tell me about some of its signs. One of the signs 1400 قال أن ترى الحفاة العراة العالة رعاء الشاء يتطاولون في البنيان. He said you will see الحفاة, the barefoot, from the Arabs. Arabs who used to be barefoot, عراة, nearly naked, which means very poor. They don't have clothes. They are barefoot. They used to be shepherds. يتطاولون في البنيان. They will be competing in building high-rising buildings. Ya Allah! Wallahi, if we do not have except this hadith, it's more than enough to believe that Muhammad is a Nabi. Who on earth was able to know that that will happen 1,400 years later? Because when Arabs started competing with these things, just 2-3 decades, just few decades. By the way, You know, Empire State, for example, which used to be in its time, I think about 100 years ago, the tallest building on earth, which is about 110 years. You know Empire State? In New York. About 100, 110, I don't know, around 1 century, it used to be the tallest. So Prophet Muhammad, how did he know? Please, you find an answer. By the way, if someone, a non-Muslim is asking you, how do you know that Islam is good? Just bring this hadith, save your time. Turn off your car and go and sleep. خلاص. Wallahi, no need to waste your time. Tell him, look. قول له, me no English. قول له, me no English. This is hadith, you read, you explain. You find no answer, be careful. Maybe Jahannam. Go and sleep. Wallahi, I'm just giving you a simple example. I'm answering the sister. She asked me why he said Musa and not Isa. Wallahu a'lam, because he was someone of knowledge. He knew what he was talking about. But what is the clear-cut evidence for that? Just later on he became Muslim. And Najashi, he converted to Islam. How did we know? Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, out of a sudden, he said, قُومُوا فَصَلُّوا عَلَى صَاحِبِكُمْ. He said, come and pray with me. That's why we know the legislation of Salat al-Ghaib. You know, in this masjid, why do you pray when someone, for his father, his mother, his beloved passed away in Egypt and Syria and Jordan and Palestine with you? Where did we take this legislation from this incident? They were at Medina. Prophet Muhammad ﷺ received a revelation from Allah that Najashi passed away as a Muslim. SubhanAllah. So he prayed the Salat al-Ghaib for Najashi. But when he did so for us, he was a Christian. But still, be careful now. The span of time between the beginning of Christianity and Prophet Muhammad ﷺ was still 6 centuries. So still the remaining of the power of the truth logically still should have been much more powerful. And he's one of the scholars. So he was aware, simply, it came to him, and I know about prophecies, I read that, خلاص, he took a decision, that's it. Anyway, Wallahu a'lam. قال, now we will go to Amr bin Akas radiallahu anhu. At that time he was a kafir. Very clever. He said, tomorrow I will tell Najashi about their weakness points. قال فاستأصل خضراءهم. استأصل خضراءهم, it's an Arabic expression which means I will cut them from their roots, which means I will demolish, I will smash, I will let them disappear from the surface of earth. This is the meaning of استئصال الخضراء. This is an Arabic expression which means finito. You know finito? Finito. خلاص. I'll finish them. طيب. فقال له عبد الله بن أبي ربيعة وكان أتقى الرجلين فينا لا تفعل فإن لهم أرحاما وإن كانوا قد خالفونا. You know, both of them, they were kuffar. They were the delegation of Mecca. That to tell you still, some people, even though they were sent to do an evil, but still their fitra, their innate, their inner nature is working and they know the reality. So Amr bin Akas decided, he said, I will show them. Tomorrow, I will tell the Najashi about their defects, their weakness points. Their weakness points, their attitude from Isa alayhi salam. God or son of God. Because the whole kingdom is based on this idea. Okay? It's like an immigrant who came, for example, to a very liberal country. Okay, what do you think about LGBT? You, what do you think? What do you think? Me no English. Hey, come, we don't speak, come, okay? So it be something similar like that, just to give you an idea about how difficult it was. Maybe we are saying just theoretically, now we are laughing, but it was not easy, because it's a matter of, it's very difficult. The base of the whole kingdom is based on the idea of Jesus Christ is the Son of Lord. You got my point? It's like 70 years ago, when they caught you in America and they knew you were the close assistant of Hitler. May God be with you. You are lost. It's exactly something like that. You need to understand the context. It's very difficult. طيب. قال when Abdullah ibn Abi Rabi'a, the other mushrik, he said, don't do it. قال لا تفعل فإن لهم أرحاما. Hey, okay, they disagree with us, but still they are our relatives. We have relations with them. They are part of our relatives. يعني معنى take it easy. take it easy. قال والله لأخبرنه أنهم يزعمون أن عيسى ابن مريم عبد. Why I told you this is a very important historical record. Look what the paganist is saying 1400 years ago. Amr ibn al-As, who used to worship idols, knew for sure that telling them that Isa is not God is a big trouble. Got my point? Which means paganists, they knew about Christianity, Christians, they knew about paganists, and everyone knows everything. It was not just ignorance and no one knows anything. No. And Najashi himself was expecting, and they know. So let's not imagine that the people, all of them, they were ignorant, no one knows anything, and we were discovering everything from the scratch. No. A lot of common thing, a lot of common knowledge, and he knows how to provoke them now. I will tell them. He knows that the biggest point in the Christianity is what? Jesus Christ is the Son of Lord. So I will tell them that they claim. So he was planning. He said, King, okay, I'm not planning to do any troubles, but do you know that they don't believe in the divinity of Jesus Christ? This is what he was planning to do. قال ثم غدا عليه الغد. Then next time he came to visit him, because this delegation, the delegate basically is the representative of the people of Mecca. He's like an ambassador. He has the right to say, I want to see the king. قال أيها الملك. Amr ibn al-As, he was determinedly, he determined to do his intention. He came purposely. Next day, he sat with the king and he said, أيها الملك إنهم يقولون في عيسى ابن مريم قولا عظيما فأرسل إليهم فاسألهم عما يقولون فيه. Look how clever he was. He said, they are saying a horrible saying against Jesus Christ. Do you know? Go and ask them. He did not tell what they asked him. Go and just bring them, because he knows, and this is another indication that he knows that he will not lie. Now, if Amr ibn al-As had a slight possibility of faith that they have, like some of the sects who claim that they are Muslims and they believe that lying is acceptable. Okay? Yes. Now, if Amr ibn al-As knows for sure that they have the permission to lie, do you think he would have suggested this very embarrassing situation? If he knew that Muslims, they don't care to be hypocrites, he would not have ever dared to suggest this. Simply, okay, call Ja'far ibn Talib. He came. What do you mean, Jesus Christ? Oh, Jesus Christ, the Son of Lord. Thank you, King. Okay, mashallah. Go enjoy my country. That's it. Will take no more than 5 minutes. Finito. Khalas. Finished. Say what they would love to say and close the file. No, they will not do it. It's a matter of faith, kufr and iman. He knows they will not do it. But what does this mean? He believed in them. Wallahi. He knows they will not do it. Are you with me? Or otherwise, he will not do it. So, قال إنهم يقولون, they say a great horrible word against Jesus Christ. Just call them. قال فأرسل إليهم يسألهم عنه. قالت, now Salama says, ولم ينزل بنا مثله. Never ever we had a difficulty that came on our shoulders like this, which means we were asked again to come, which means, oh, there is something in you. Okay, we escaped from the first round. Second round, it means the CIA, MI5, FBI, MI6, all of them, they had a new information now. Okay? A new claimed false evidences, but we can't compete them. They are a state. The power of 2 states, they are working against us. We are just few tens of immigrants, very weak. I mean, we have just the word of truth. قال ولم ينزل بنا مثله. No difficulty has came across us like this. قال فاجتمع القوم فقال بعضهم لبعض. They gathered and they say ما تقولون في عيسى إذا سألكم عنه, what you will say about Jesus Christ. فقالوا, all of them they agreed, نقول والله ما قال الله وما جاء به نبينا كائن في ذلك ما هو كائن. They will say what Allah said and what Prophet Muhammad صلى الله عليه وسلم, regardless whatever will happen, we don't care, because our duty is to say the truth, not to calculate the possible consequences, then we decide how to make lies. In such context, be careful. Say just the truth. What do you think? Yes, I think so. Be polite. I mean, don't mix between be tough, harsh, okay, rude, with saying the truth. This is two different things. You can say the truth with the most, by the way, just pause. I remember one of the most difficult times in my life, historically, chronologically speaking. I was doing my PhD in the UK. You know, my field was Christian-Muslim relations. My supervisor was a priest in the Church of England. My other supervisor, he said that he received an invitation. He was a Muslim. I had a Christian and a Muslim. The Muslim one, he was busy. He had to attend the conference. Out of a sudden, he became so busy, he asked me to go and to replace him. He said, what is the conference? It was the annual gathering of the priests of the Church of England. What was the topic? Jesus through Muslims' eyes. Priests of the Church of England. They will be sitting there, and he said, you want me to go and speak about this topic? And it was just, I think, my second year. Still my English, you know, me no English. You know, I came from Jordan. And by the way, I started using English at the age of 30. Before that, just governmental school. You know governments? You know government schools English level does mean what in our countries? Me no English. Yes. So anyway, so it was not that level of English that I used to have at that time. It was really not easy. And I'm to speak about the most difficult, sensitive issue between Christianity and Islam. Jesus Christ. And who are the audience? Priests of the Church of England. I just found myself a few days later speaking with 125 priests representing all churches in the United Kingdom, telling them about what it's in their faith, the core of faith, what's in my faith, pure kufr. And I have to discuss it in full hour. Well, by the way, maybe I'm saying this now so easily, but at that time, I'm talking about, this happened 99, I think, 99, 2000, I think 99. That's about 24 years from now. My knowledge, my English, cultural experience, all of these things was less than 10% of what I have now. So it was really, really very difficult, because for me, I know that it's haram not to say the truth. But I know that this truth is one of the most difficult things to tell it for this specific audience. Because I know for me, it's completely, if you believe in this, you will lose your faith. And I can't play dirty games with these things. I'm not a hypocrite, alhamdulillah, and I'm not supposed to be a hypocrite. And I have to say, but how to say it? Wallah, you can't imagine. But then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guided me, and I remember this is my point now. Because I'm very much engaged with this story, because literally I lived it. Or something similar. So when I said, one of the things that I remember, I said, about 90% of the literal words. I said, good evening, good night. I don't remember what was the time. I think the Asr time. I said, first of all, thank you for inviting me. I said, before I start, the topic is Jesus through Muslims' eyes. And you know that this is a very important, sensitive topic for you, and it is for me. But I want just to pay your attention for the following. Do you think you have left all of your place, because they came from the whole Great Britain to the city, which is what Birmingham. They were traveling. Their annual, and I forgot to tell you, in their annual meeting, the priests, they have like a very intensive conference on a yearly basis in Birmingham. What they do every year, they invite people of faith from all other faiths. Every year, they expose themselves to understand how others look at Christianity, especially Jesus Christ. So they invite a Hindu scholar, Buddhist scholar, Sikh scholar, and all of them, and Muslim scholar every year. It's part of their training to understand how others think about us, which is good academically. Okay, and I'm a PhD student. It's good, but it's very sensitive for someone who's not trained, especially not my language. Be careful, I'm not using my language. This is a very big challenge I'm not using. Anyway, if I told them, look, do you think that I left my country 5,000 miles there to come here to be a hypocrite just to seek your happiness? They say no. I think, do you think you would deserve to waste your time traveling for someone to be a hypocrite, to tell you what you would love to do, or you would like to know what I believe in? They say, definitely, yes, we want you to believe. I said, by the way, I can make lies if I wish. But once I leave this place, you can go and read anywhere and discover the truth. So please. And I think you don't like to waste your time, and I did not come to waste my time. And I think you deserve to be respected, not to have any hypocritical attitude while speaking with you. True or false? They said yes. I said, I beg your pardon in advance. I don't have that power in English. My knowledge is so humble. So I have a lot of meanings in my language. However, I will do my best to convey. So if I hurted the feelings of any one of you, please forgive me in advance. Okay? Okay. So we stayed 4 hours. 4 hours. And they kept listening to me and discussing with me. Alhamdulillah, and I tell them everything. You know what I mean, everything? Everything that you can imagine and you can't imagine. But with this introduction, it was like an opening from Allah, guidance. But it's not easy. Because at any moment, if you have someone with a bad ill will, he could destroy everything. Hey, something, you can't control it. Not your culture, not your language, not your context. Everything is strange. So you are a stranger. It's not easy. Anyway, I just wanted to give you part of my experience, to come back to Ja'far radiallahu anhu and the group. Now, I think in 2 minutes I have to stop. Now, قال فاجتمع القوم فقالوا ما نقول قالوا نقول ما قال الله وما جاء به نبينا كائنا من كان. They say, we will say exactly what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said and what his prophet said. Whatever will happen, we will say. فلما دخلوا عليه, when they get into the place where the king was, قال ما تقولون في عيسى ابن مريم, what do you say with regard Jesus Christ? أقول قولي هذا واستغفر الله لي ولكم فيا فوز المستغفرين. This to push you to come exactly in the very first moment next time, inshallah. This is the promotion of next time, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Next time we will say exactly how they replied. I know Dr. Yasser would love to squeeze my neck, I know. جزاكم الله خير. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.